Welcome to Crossroads Live. I'm sitting here with Mark Sarver. Am I saying it right?
No, that's not
How
right.
you say it?
Michael Sarver.
Sarver. It's almost like Savoy.
Almost.
Sarver.
Except for it's not.
Sarver. Nice to meet you, man.
You want to retake that?
And
Michael Sarver. And welcome to Crossroads Live. My name is Jim Alpart, and I'm sitting here with Michael Sarver.
Yes, sir.
Did I get it right?
You got it
Yeah,
right.
right. All right. Welcome to Crossroads, man.
Thank you.
And welcome to, well, we're in McKinney, Texas,
yeah.
right? And, well, let's get one thing out of the way. We're both from Louisiana.
Which makes us both very cool.
Yeah, we're kind of be cool if you're from Louisiana.
Absolutely.
South Louisiana.
And we know what good food is.
Yes. We both know where the Boudin King is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we both know. So if you go to Jennings, Boudin
Get you
King,
some
right?
boudin.
Right.
You're making me hungry.
All right. I'll tell you what. Get some dirty rice, throw it in there.
Oh, yeah.
My buddy has a joke. We'll start this thing with a little joke. My buddy tells this joke, and he says, talking about boudin balls.
Mm-hmm.
He said, you take a plate of boudin balls and you put them on top of your head. Your tongue is gonna beat your brains out trying to get to them.
That's really good.
I can't tell it as well as he does. I'm not
That's
a
pretty
comedian.
good.
Yeah. So anyway, you were born in Lake Charlie.
Lake Charles.
Lake Charles,
Louisiana.
I know the bridge.
The bridge.
The
The
bridge.
Very, very high bridge.
Well, they got that new one. See, now when I was a kid growing up down there, they didn't have the one that goes over into like South Lake Charles.
Oh, the 210.
Yeah.
They just had I-10 back
Yeah,
then.
right. And so, is that what it's called?
Yeah, the 210 bridge.
Yeah. And I got a lot of friends that live in Lake Charles. So, but you live in Sulphur.
Sulphur. I grew up in Sulphur and graduated from Sulphur High.
Well, I don't know. That says much for you.
Hey, you know what? We could play some football though.
Oh yeah.
We
Did
had a
y'all
good
beat
football
Jennings?
team. Well, of course.
Oh,
I don't even think
everybody.
I don't even think they let us play Jennings because it wouldn't have been fair. See, now I'm trash talking.
Listen to that. So you play football?
I did not get to play much football.
No.
I grew up UPC Pentecostal. They weren't fans of playing football much.
Really?
Organized sports.
So, let's talk some music.
Let's do it.
Let's talk some music. We're going to talk some music. We're going to talk about your songwriting, my friend. You started writing when you were like 14.
14 years old. Yeah, my first song. And I've written 1191 since then.
So, what was the first song? Give me the title. Give me the title.
Oh man, I'll never let anybody hear this, but the title was called Broken Pieces. And it was actually a Christian song that I wrote it on a Saturday. I wrote it on a Saturday and played it the very next day on Sunday, singing a special. You know, they still do the specials out there.
Yeah.
And I got my chance to do the special.
Yeah. Wow. And this was in Lake Charles or Sulphur?
Sulphur.
Sulphur. All right. Because now, you're writing today.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you look back at some of the old songs and go, oh my God, did I write that? Because I know I've written scripts, screenplays, and I look back at some of the old stuff and I go, I can't believe I wrote this. You know, but
yeah, I look back and laugh at some of them. They're
Yeah.
humorous. But the thing about writing music and the progression of your writing talent is, number one, I've always believed that my gift for writing came from God. But what happens is it starts out as that natural God-given ability, and then you learn and develop the skill to write the song. So as you learn and develop that skill, your songs obviously get stronger and more enjoyable to listen back to. Where some of them from the old days, we'll just leave them in the old days.
Yeah. Well, right. They're not really ready for recording.
Right.
Not ready for prime time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. And so, what was it like for you growing up in Sulphur anyway?
It was good. I have a lot of great memories. We grew up not very well off. I had a hard-working mama. Her name's Ellen, and you know, she brought us to church every week. So I got a core in me that's all about church and the things of my faith. And working hard. I mean, I started working when I was young, like 14 years old. I started working at Taco Bell. And that's when the weight started piling on.
Yeah.
I was skin and bones until then, and then all of a sudden. So, and then just really all about hard work. I've really learned in my life that hard work is kind of the key to everything. I mean, I guess you could still have bad luck or whatever they call it, but you can get just about anywhere you want to go with hard work.
Yeah. Well, you was talking earlier that your life was almost an open book because of American Idol.
Yeah.
How did that come about? How did you get on that show?
Well, my sister-in-law wanted to try out, and we kind of discussed it, and we were all going to go on this trip because I worked on the oil rig at the time, and so I had to go to whatever city they were at during my off hitch. It turned out to be Phoenix, Arizona, so we made the bright-eyed decision to drive to Phoenix, which turned into like 23 hours from East Texas.
So somebody was tired.
Oh, we were all tired. And we went, and I really didn't think about when I went to Idol whether or not how far I was going to make it or whether or not I was going to win. I was real focused on each step one at a time, and every time I kept going further, it just turned into this thing that became what really launched my career. And Idol was a great experience. I mean, there's obviously things about Idol that I probably could have done better, but what it's done for me is teaching me all the good lessons about this business. I came out of there, I went in Idol knowing nothing about this business and came out of Idol having a really good fix on how things are done.
Yeah, so during the week, y'all worked on a certain song and stuff that you were gonna do, and did you have professionals working with you, or did you,
we had vocal coaches, so we'd pick a song
Yeah.
for whatever theme of the week, like Michael Jackson week. We had to pick the song that we felt fit us both the best, and then we'd get with those vocal coaches and a piano player, and we'd go over it and arrangement and how we wanted to lay it out. And we didn't get to practice much at all because I think we picked a song on Monday or Tuesday, and then we had to have it ready by the following week. And in between all of that, you think there's a lot of empty time, but shooting music videos and doing recordings and TV and all this. So it was like there were 18-hour days. I remember 18, 20-hour days where we hardly slept at all. And then other days where it wasn't so bad. But, it was a progression during the week. They kind of had it down to a science, when you had your time to rehearse. Because there were a lot of us at first until it got down to the top 10. And before that, you had to make room for everybody.
So you actually sang a Michael Jackson song?
I did. I sang You Are Not Alone.
Oh.
I did.
Yeah. How was that for you?
It was really cool. I mean, I grew up mostly listening to country gospel and those kind of things just because of my upbringing. But I remember sneaking it out. They called it the rebellious music. Mm-hmm. But I'd sneak into Michael Jackson and Garth Brooks when I got the chance. And so I always looked up to Michael Jackson as someone who really paved the way for the future of music. I always felt like he was ahead of his time.
He was.
So when we had that opportunity to do a Michael Jackson week, I was pretty thrilled.
Now you mentioned Garth Brooks. Was there a Garth Brooks week?
There was a country week.
A country week?
It was actually called Opry Week.
Yeah.
So we had to pick a song by an artist that was inducted into the Opry. And so Garth Brooks has been huge influence on my life from the age of 11 years old. And so I did Ain't Going Down Till the Sun Comes Up.
Oh, yeah.
And it's very wordy. And the funniest part of my whole experience on that show was that after I finished, Simon told me that he didn't understand a word of it. And my response to him was, country folks did.
Yes.
It was very clear. That's what I thought.
Response.
That was it. Nothing
Great
else to say.
Response. Yeah.
Country folks got what I had to say that night.
Yeah, right. Oh, I love it. No, because I like Garth Brooks.
Mm-hmm.
I always like Garth. In fact, I'll inject this, that I saw Garth Brooks once in person at State Fair, Texas. He was an act on, I guess, the Miller stage, or what they call it. And he was there one night, and I was there, and people were pushing and shoving and going on. And it was just like, man, I couldn't believe how they were reacting.
He was huge.
He was big.
Huge. And now he's back, and he's huge again.
Yeah, oh my God.
Selling out shows.
Yeah, and that's where you want to be.
It is.
Yeah, that's where you want to be, selling out them big shows.
I'd love the chance to open up for him.
All right, while we're talking about that, since we mentioned Garth Brooks, I'll tell you my story. Did I tell you my wife was from Jasper?
You did.
Yeah. Well, we were supposed to be going to Jasper. I remember back, a few years back, Garth Brooks did a show in Arlington, a TV special, right? And so I was doing another television show and I was working. I was playing a character, and this one of the guys on the crew was working with the Garth Brooks people. He said to me, "Would you like a ticket? I can give you get you a couple of free tickets for you and your wife to go." And I said, "When is it?" He gave me the date. Well, I had the dates mixed up where we were supposed to go to Jasper, right? And I said, "No, I can't go because my wife and I are going to Jasper, family get together." I went home and I told her. She said, "No, that's not that week. It's another one." So she's never forgiven me for not getting those tickets to go see Garth Brooks. Oh yeah, so there you go.
That's
horrible. Oh man. But anyway, so the music. Let's talk about the new music you got. And how many new songs have you written like in the last year?
Oh, I mean, in the last year, I've probably written 40, maybe just right at 40 songs. In the last year, I've been very focused on writing for the new record. So it's been focused on what songs work. So you write a song and you think it's amazing, and then you write another one, and at the end, you try to compile the songs that fit together as a body of work.
So you have maybe like a theme running through that record, you know, with all the stuff.
Actually, my goal for this record was to not be so serious. You know, in my first album, I did a lot of music, a lot of meaningful songs that I wrote that had a lot to do with life experiences and telling stories, and that's what country music's all about. Where in this one, I want it to be a little brighter as far as the mood was concerned, about brighter, having a little more fun. So even the love songs on my record are more lighthearted rather than ballady.
Yeah.
You know, I actually have less slow music than anything on this record. I just wanted to have a good time, and my focus was, okay, if this song can be a little bit lighter of an attitude, let's do it a different way. So if I write it and it sounds a little humdrum, let's brighten it up with the way we arrange it.
So are you actually able to go in the studio with your band?
Yes.
Because a lot of artists use studio musicians, you know, but you actually use your band is on the record.
Right. Actually, the actual people that are on my album will be on the road with me.
Right.
Yeah, you guys see it with me and Zach and Austin. Austin didn't play on the record. He's new to our family, but Zach's played on the record, and a couple of other friends. Chris plays the bass, been a friend of mine for many, many years. I've tried really hard to keep the people that were my people before everybody thought I was cool.
Yeah.
Because they thought I was cool when everybody thought I wasn't. So I've tried really hard to keep those people a part of my career. Chris is one of those, and then a good friend of mine, Tyler, who was a part of my first album and came back and ended up playing guitar and producing the record. So
very good.
Some good friends on this one.
Yeah. Well, it's good. That's the way we are as far as, you know, I produce films and stuff like that, and work. And a lot of the people, like the young lady that's running camera now, she worked in the last film that I did called Truth or Fiction, and actually she played my girlfriend. And she still calls me the devil. So. Anyway, no, but it's family. Sure. After a while, it becomes family. And that other young lady back there, she worked on our Truth or Fiction with us, and cool. She was one of our best singers in the show. So anyway, but we had, but I understand what you're talking about, and trying to connect that with almost family.
Right.
They all become family. You're working with these wonderful people, and you find the most talented people, and you keep them with you.
Sure.
You know.
And those that are loyal. I mean, those that are loyal to you in the times when it's good and in the times when it's not so good. So it's very important.
It's just like I have a friend of mine. I'll tell you about it, and I don't think he'll mind me saying this. His name is Stephen Pride, and his brother is Charlie Pride, who I know you do. Charlie.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Stephen is my friend. Whether he would have a famous brother, it's nothing to do with nothing against Charlie. Charlie's a wonderful man, but the fact that he is who he is, he's solid. You know, solid human being. So that's what you're talking about, right? Of having some solid people who you can trust.
Yeah.
Who believe in you.
Absolutely.
And you believe in them.
Oh yeah.
Because you know they're going to be there for you, right?
I do.
Yeah.
For sure.
And so let's talk about your. I know your gospel influence. I want to talk about that. Are we going to see like maybe a gospel album down the road from you?
I would not be surprised if I end up doing something gospel eventually, if for no other reason than to pay tribute to my roots, based on the fact that Some of my influences, one of my biggest influences is Gaither Vocal Band. I grew up in church singing Gaither songs, and one of my favorite vocalists was Michael English back in that day. So
Yeah, he had long hair.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
he
I know
did.
you're
Now
talking
it's
about, yeah.
short, and it'll be
Yeah.
long again another time. But that and Mark Lowry, I love Mark Lowry. In fact, I got to hang out a little bit with Mark Lowry not too long ago and tell him all about how much I appreciated him and respected him. But one of my biggest influences was Michael English in the gospel and Christian industry, and then the reason that I started writing. When I started writing was based on a Christian artist named Stephen Curtis Chapman. I don't know. If you know him.
Yeah, I know who he is.
But,
I don't know him, but I know.
But I'm, in my personal opinion, he's one of the most prolific writers of all time in all genres. He just might not get all the attention he really deserves, but definitely the roots that I have in my life would be fun. It would just be a blast to record a record with some gospel in it.
If I mention the name Garden Moat,
He played on my first album. Yeah.
I know Garden.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he can play that piano.
Boy, can he?
Can he?
He came in the studio. I'll never forget when he came in to start recording the first record. He takes me by the hand, and he's so honored that I asked him to play on my record, and he was and I'm sitting there thinking, "You're honored that I'm honored that you came to play on my record." It was quite exceptional, and a huge memory with Gordon was that he played one straight take of one of my songs, and we were all in the studio we're all about to bawl. We're a mess because of how beautiful it was. And he's like, "I think I can do that better." And I'm thinking to myself, how do you
get
do that better?
Right.
He does it again, and he did it better.
Yeah.
So yeah, Gordon Moat's huge influence.
I'll tell you how I know Garden. My wife and I went to the Methodist church in my wife is a Methodist. I've never forgiven her for that. But no, I started going to Methodist church with her because that's the church she likes to go to. So Garden Moat, his wife used to babysit our minister's child.
Oh, wow.
And so that's how we met them. And so he would come every year and do a Christmas show.
Wow.
And so every year, and I miss that because now the minister, she's moved on. And anyway, Gordon doesn't come back anymore. But I loved it because he would always come. And he one time told me, he said he was upset they won't let him drive the bus.
He makes a lot of blind jokes. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, he's the one that does all the blind jokes, you know.
He does.
But I saw him. We went to see the Gaithers because I liked them. But Garden Moat was playing piano with the Gaithers, and they did a big concert here in Dallas. And so we went. It was like a 6-hour concert.
Wow.
Could not believe because they had so many acts. So many, yeah. And so, I mean, it was just fantastic. That was wonderful. You got great influences.
Yeah, I do.
Wonderful influences.
Had a lot to do with
and Garden. And what's the beautiful lady's name? Alison Krauss.
Yes.
He played on a lot of her songs and stuff. And so I really admire him.
He's good.
He's good, man. And the first time I saw him, his wife sang with him. And I don't know why she didn't come back. Or she was there, but she didn't sing. And he had some other people singing with him, but he does put on a great show. He does the country music and the gospel music, and he blends it all together. You know, it's wonderful.
He can do it.
It's wonderful. I'm so glad that he was on your first. What was the name of the first album?
It was self-titled, Michael Sarver.
Yeah.
So it was a self-titled album that we actually tracked at Blackbird Studios in Nashville.
Yeah.
The cool thing about that record was the experience to track there and all the people that were on it. But my favorite thing about my new record is that I did the whole thing in my studio. I built a studio down in Jasper, Texas.
Oh boy.
And we did the entire thing right there in Jasper, Texas. So I'm very proud of that.
Yeah. So do you live like in Jasper or maybe outside of town? Or?
We live pretty close to in town.
In town.
That's all I'll say.
So you didn't. Oh well. The reason I'm saying it, you didn't want to get too far from the Catfish Cabin.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I like the Cedar Tree. Have you been to Cedar Tree?
No, I haven't.
It's pretty good. I like it better.
Well, I'll tell you what. There's a great Chinese food place there.
Got a couple of them.
Yeah.
The main reason that I stay in Jasper is because all the people, my family, all those people that made me are there.
Yeah.
And I've always felt like in order to stick to who I was in the beginning, that brought me to where I am now, I need to stick to who that was.
Yeah.
And I've always not, I've thought about moving away and how I wouldn't care for that because I like the character
Yeah.
of what I've become and the people that had something to do with that. So I
Yeah.
stay home.
Oh, I enjoy Jasper when I've gone down there. Because we don't go anymore because my mother-in-law passed on. You know, but my brother-in-law still lives there, and his family, and so he was a mechanic, had a mechanic shop out there, Pruitt. I don't know. If you know
I've heard the
Pruitt.
name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he's a mechanic, real good mechanic, and he built those cars. You know, like we got drag. Now what do you call them? Hot rods and stuff, and they go to all the car shows and stuff like that. You know, and so anyway, let's talk about where you headed next. What's next for you in the horizons here?
Well, next for us is that we just dropped that single, and we have the whole record coming in November, which we're really excited about. So, you know, up to the single, everything you do and all your energy is spent promoting and pushing that single.
Yeah.
Now we're really excited to start talking about the whole record as an entire project, and it comes out in November, and we're headed on the road. Right now we're doing a lot of promotional stuff on the road, and then that'll transition into shows.
Yeah.
And we have several of those coming up in this year and already in the beginning of next year that have been booked. So we're pretty pumped. I love the studio. I love writing songs, but I absolutely love stage. I love being on the stage and singing these songs for people.
Yeah. So you got since being a new artist, have you got a certain song that everybody requests?
Yes. Probably the one song is called Ferris Wheel, which was from my first
love
album.
it. Well,
And that's the one song that when I sing it, everybody in the crowd sings it with me. It's a pretty neat feeling.
So they know the words.
They know it well.
They know the words.
Yeah.
Well, because Steve had sent me a copy of it on, and we played it on our show.
Oh, cool. Thank you
we
very
have
much.
played it. Yeah, it's played on our video thing. We have a video show that goes out on Time Warner, and we have another show that's on. Can't even think of the name of it.
Ion.
Ion. Thank you, Ion. And so Ion doesn't really want the videos.
Right.
But Time Warner loves them.
Right.
Yeah. So we do the interview stuff. Like this will all probably go to, well, since we're not going to play a video, y'all doing it live, we can play it on Ion and we can send it to Time Warner.
like
so
it.
there you go.
Well,
So with double
spread it
promotion,
around.
right? Yeah,
I'll take
spread
it.
it around. Spread the wealth around. There you go. But anyway, so that American tour you went on, American Idol tour, is that what it's called?
What?
And tell me about it. It had to be a great experience.
Well, it was the first time I ever toured that heavy. So we did 52 cities in less than 2.5 months' time. It was a very, very crammed, not crammed because it worked, but it was very fast-paced, a lot of cities in a short span of time. But we literally marched across the country singing our songs, and it was where I kind of validated that I knew this is precisely what I was born for, because I feel like a lot of singers, a lot of artists get into this business, and it doesn't take long where they realize, okay, maybe I'm a singer but not made for this business.
Yeah.
And that journey really taught me that this is exactly what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And that Idol's live tour literally gave us a crash course.
It opened the
in
door for your heart to
Right.
know where you wanted to be, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
If you can handle the road, then you know.
Yes.
It's not as easy as it
I've heard
appears.
about the road. Yeah, and but no, you got and I love that. I love both the songs you sang today, but the one I was sitting there and listening to you sing about the drinking song. I call it the drinking song.
That is what it is.
It's the drinking song.
Every country artist has to have a drinking song on their
You
record.
got to have a drinking
Gotta have
song.
it.
Gotta have.
Even if you don't drink, you still have to put a drinking song on it.
Yeah, well, I don't drink, but I love drinking songs, you know. And Whiskey River did wonders, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah.
Well, and my whole purpose of that song on the record, because I know there'll be some people that are like, oh my goodness, and my whole purpose was I still wanted to grab a little honky tonk.
Yeah.
I understand that the music business is where it is and the style that it has progressed to, and I embrace it and I love a lot of it, and but I don't want to forget old time country and the country that I fell in love with in the 90s, and there was so much honky tonk back then with Mark Chestnut, who I love to death.
Oh, yeah.
He really knew how to embrace the honky tonk style. So When I Drink was really about grabbing a little taste of that honky tonk world.
Yeah, well, see, you're talking about, you can almost relate to it because most people are like that.
Yeah.
They may be quiet in their lifestyle
Right.
and their everything.
Everything's
Put a
just
couple
right.
of drinks in them,
Right.
and and that would make a great video.
And it's next. It's
Oh, is
actually
it?
our next single, yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
we're pumped about it.
Well, when you put out a single, like I know, in my growing up days, I used to go down and buy Elvis records,
Yeah.
and so I'd go down and buy the Elvis record, and there'd be a song on this side, and a song on that side. So what do you got? You got two
A-side and
songs.
B-side. No, we don't really do that anymore. Right now, they just, when they do a single, they just do strictly singles. I mean, there are people that have tried it,
Yeah.
but right now, they're big on just putting out a taste, I guess, to kind of get people's attention to show that you have a record coming.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how they use singles as kind of a marketing
Okay.
tool. But I just want to put it all out
wondered
there.
how it
Right.
happens now because it's a lot different,
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, because you know what I miss? Let me tell you what I miss the old vinyl records. I miss the big covers and the
Yeah.
write-ups in the back because you don't really, because now they open it up and they have, you read
Right.
it right. But I used to love that. Look at the pictures on the back. Read.
We are actually getting quite a few vinyl records printed for this new record.
Really?
Yeah, it's coming back. There's a lot of people getting these new turntables.
Yeah.
They're little record players, and then they got the MP3 inputs in them and everything. So it's like the best of both worlds. But you can't replace that real authentic, crispy sound
Yeah,
that you get from
yeah.
a vinyl record. So
Well, I love them.
we're gonna print a few of them.
Oh, wow, that's great. They'll be out. And it's much easier to sign, right?
It's huge.
Huge. Yeah. Man, I loved it because you got the great picture on the front, and then you got all the pictures in the back.
Right.
So, and so you played all the clubs around Beaumont and all in there. 'Cause I know there's a lot.
I've played a couple of places in Beaumont. Not a lot. I've done Madison's down there, which is a pretty popular place right now. Let's see. Man, I don't remember. I haven't done a lot at home. I played one of my greatest times that I played was when not far off of Idle, when my first record came out. I got to play the rodeo in Jasper, which is people don't understand what the Jasper rodeo
Oh,
means.
I do.
Everything shuts down. They even take kids out of school.
That's it.
So the rodeo is huge. I got to be in a parade.
It's like 5 days.
Yeah, it's a huge event.
Yeah. And then you got. Let me help you on this one. I won't talk
I'll
on
let
this
you
one
know.
because I know because I used to take my vacation time around that rodeo, and I go down there. In fact, I'll tell you a little funny story that goes along with it. I went to the Jasper rodeo. I'm there every night, and then John Anderson played one year, and I was there. I went to see John, and I love John Anderson, and he was there. And anyway, I'm looking at the program, and I was in the middle of writing a movie called Hero in the Rain, and of course didn't have the title at that time. But I was writing this movie, and I took my characters from the rodeo riders.
Oh, cool.
I put the characters and I mixed the names up, and I took my character name. It was, Jake. And anyway, I did it, and so there was a guy, some rodeo cowboy. Anyway, so that's why I got the names for the movie. Was at that
That's
Jasper
cool.
rodeo.
It's
And I love
a fun event.
Yeah.
And everybody comes together. Everybody stays out. They have a concert every night. Garth Brooks did in his day.
Did he
the
really?
Jasper
Did he
rodeo.
really? Yeah.
And with it being the town that I live in now, I mean Jasper's been my home now for many, many years. I grew up in Sulphur, Louisiana, and I'm very proud of that, by the way. I love being a Louisiana boy, but I'm also very proud of Jasper, who's been a huge part of my upbringing and my adult life. And so for a place like Jasper that has this rodeo that everybody knows about, and I got the chance to play the rodeo, was pretty cool.
Wow,
It was
that
pretty
is
neat.
great. Because I really enjoyed it. And because one night that I was there, they had a band from Louisiana that was playing it. And I don't remember the name, and I apologize for that, but they were wonderful, and it was great. And the rodeo, that is a great rodeo.
They got a lot of talent in Southeast Texas and Southwest Louisiana.
Oh, yes.
It's packed full.
Yeah. Well, Tracy Bird.
Yeah. Mark Chestnut's from
Mark
down
Chestnut.
there too.
And there's another one. I was trying to remember his name, and it came up.
George
He's
Jones
Blyther.
is from
Yeah.
down in
Yeah.
I think Port Arthur or something.
I think he was from around Beaumont or somewhere in there. And I got a lady back there that knows. And where's George Jones from?
Biter.
Bite. Is he from Biter?
Biter.
He was from Biter. Okay. I didn't know that.
Clay Walker.
Clay Walker.
Clay
That's who I was
Walker's
saying.
from over there,
All good talent.
Yeah.
All good talent. Nobody has talent that comes from Orange, though, do they? I don't know. If
I would
anybody- Oh,
imagine they got talent. Maybe it's for something else besides music.
Yeah,
Who
could
knows?
be.
I would
just
imagine
kidding.
we probably got some football players. We actually have NFL football player, a couple of them from Jasper.
Really?
One of which is Sean Weatherspoon, who plays for the Falcons right now.
Really?
Yeah, big deal. And I stink at names, but we had one with the champs, the Seattle Seahawks from last year. He's from Jasper as well.
Jasper.
So bring it on.
Bring it home.
We can compete with everything.
Yes. Yes.
We can do this.
Yeah. So anyway, to where are we going next? Well, I mean, where are you leaving when you leave here today? Where's going? Going home to Jasper?
Yeah, I actually, when we leave here, we're leaving in the morning.
Okay.
Bus driver's got to sleep.
Yeah.
But we leave in the morning, and I'm actually heading home for the weekend
Yeah.
to hang out with my people. And
Yeah.
then we, let's see where we go. I think we actually go to Lake Charles on Monday, and then we got Little Rock and Austin and Shreveport. There's a bunch of them. And then we
Yeah.
kind of trail our way right back to Nashville.
Yeah. Well, do the folks, and it's going to sound like a silly question, but do you find like going home now that people treat you a little different now that you have a little success?
You know, that is probably the most unique question you can ask. It's interesting because when this happens to you, especially with my world, it came from Idol, where you become famous overnight. I mean,
Yeah.
one day you're just that guy walking in Walmart, and the next night you can't even walk through Walmart.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting because you have those people that really, there's so many people in Jasper and Sulphur that were so super proud of me and extremely supportive. And you deal with so much support, and then you deal with some other things. You know, people like to talk, and when you're successful, there are those out there that enjoy tearing it down.
Yeah.
For whatever reason they have to do so. So you have a lot of good, and you have a little bit of bad that you have to deal with, and you just have to learn how to balance it. You have to learn about who you are, and just stick to who you are, and allow your character to eventually speak for itself. Because for those that speak bad of you, they don't really know you. So you got to give them a chance to understand you. So I have had the best of both worlds, but I got to say, from Jasper and from Sulphur and the Lake Charles area, I've had more support than anything bad. It's been pretty awesome. I rode up into Jasper one time, and they had this big sign right there at the main intersection, my big old face on it, and it definitely showed how much they supported and loved me.
Yeah, very proud of hometown boy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there you go. I think that's wonderful.
It's been a good ride already.
Yeah. So you actually do shows? Have you done a show in Lake Charles?
No,
Since all this.
I have. I did. When my first record came out, I did an event down there. I don't remember the exact what it was for, but they gave me the key to the city. It was really awesome.
Yeah.
And then I did an event down in Sulphur, and they gave me the key to the city of Sulphur. And then I did an event in Jasper, and they gave me I had the key to 3 cities.
Yeah.
And I have tried every vault and every bank,
And none of
and
them work.
none of them work. I don't know what the key does, but I'm very proud to have them. I have them hanging up in my office at my studio, and those are some pretty proud moments for me.
So, how did the record deal come about? Was that because of American Idol?
Sure.
Or, no?
Yeah, I mean, I got attention based on Idol, and that's why I'll forever be grateful. If I had to do it over again, I would do Idol the same way. I don't have really any regrets when it comes to Idol. It's been really good to me. Still are. We still get invites, and we get to be a part of an alumni that is so rare and so unique. But yeah, the album deals came from that. The attention of people that wanted to hear you sing or wanted to record you came from that. And because of Idol, here I am, 5 years later now.
Yeah.
I'm singing again.
Yeah.
Took a couple of years off to kind of breathe, because when you go from Idol to straight on the road for a couple of more years, it's just a rush of things in life, and I had to take a second and breathe. But here we are, coming back again.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Well, listen, is there anything you want to tell the public out there while we wrap this thing up? Anything you would like to leave our audience with?
The number one thing I'd like to say to anyone watching is if you've been a fan of mine and you've bought my records and you've been to my shows, I just want to say thank you very much, because I honestly could not even do this, wouldn't be here on a bus if it wasn't for you. And for those of you that are not fans, go check out my music, and if you like it, tell everybody, and if you don't like it, just don't tell anybody, okay? We'll have a deal, it's an agreement. But look for my new stuff. Miss You Something Crazy is on iTunes and Amazon.com and every other place you can find it online. And the new album's coming in November.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Success,
Appreciate
my
you.
friend. And
Thank you.
thanks for watching.
So, till we meet again, good luck, God bless, and we'll see you at the Crossroads. Let's go, Dan.